This is In Search for Wellness. Welcome to In Search for Wellness this day. Wherever you are, wherever you are tuned in from, you're welcome to In Search for Wellness. In Search for Wellness is the channel that seeks out information on wellness, which could really help you, which you could really help somebody's body, which one can really take up and use to improve and to take care of one's wellness. I want to thank you very, very much for patronizing my channel. Thank you for visiting my channel. I'm very, very appreciative of that, and you are really welcome. And I would just ask you, I would request you and I would ask you to please subscribe to my channel, and please share this work with your friends and relatives. If the information that you encounter in this channel helps you, please share it with other people, because it is for that purpose. Every video uploaded into the In Search for Wellness is intended to help us help ourselves take care of our own wellness. It is to remind us that there is nobody to take care of our wellness. There is nobody to take care of your health, and there is nobody to take care of my health. It is only myself. I have to develop my own discipline. But at times you find that disciplines as far as food is concerned, at times is very, very, very difficult. It is very, very difficult to cut off from some habits or some things that we like eating, or even from things that really give us problems, and we eat them every day, things which are part of our daily food. Things which are part of our daily servings and daily diets that cause us problems. At times it's very, very difficult to remove them from the system, to remove them from the diet. But it requires hard work. It requires consistency. It requires to identify, and also it requires a decision, one to make a decision. And so this journey of searching for wellness is not really automatic. It is not automatic. It is a decision that one has to make, and one has to learn various skills. You learn some various skills of even cooking, of even food preparations, and even to seek up information, And so In Search for Wellness makes it easier for you. In Search for Wellness makes it easier for you to enter into the journey in searching for wellness. For me, at times it's not also easy to break away from some things. At times I find that my discipline is falling out, but I keep having problems here, there, and they keep reminding me I need to wake up and continue with the journey in searching for my wellness. We know that wellness of the body is not automatic. For the body to attain its wellness, or to generate wellness for you and to generate wellness for me, it is not automatic. It is not automatic. And like we say that our bodies cannot run on autopilot. You know, for young people, their bodies and wellness seem to run on autopilot because they are young and all that. But you must realize that it is within that age, from 20 years and on, that their health is greatly abused. The health of young people is greatly abused in that age, because their wellness seems to run on autopilot. Because whether they eat chips, or whether they eat, they indulge in this and that, you find them, they are still looking healthy, and they are not overpowered by uneasiness of this and that. But as early as possible, it is important for people to learn the skills of taking care of one's wellness. And so I today invite you to accompany me as I share this very important and very valuable information concerning our gastrointestinal tract. Gastrointestinal tract. I remind you, please subscribe to my channel, like my work, and please share the information that you find that is helpful with your friends, with your friends and family. My name is Margaret Bogwa. And I'm passionate about wellness because of what God has done for me. that when I had issues, and I've had issues, difficult issues, the Lord has always pinned down to some indulgence in my feeding and even in my habit or my lifestyle. And so when I take the responsibility to change, and I realize I experience goodness. Today we are going to talk about the gastrointestinal tract, otherwise known as GIT or gut. This is just an introduction. The GIT is a very complex system. It is a very, very complex system. And a simple video of a few minutes cannot cover. We may have to cover and look at various issues that affect people because of the GIT with several videos. So the GIT is also known as the gastrointestinal tract. And you know that it occupies the central position of the body internally. Internally, you know that it occupies a very central position, and also it plays a very, very, very central role in one's health and in one's wellness and in one's life sustenance. So the gastrointestinal tract, we don't really think too much about it. All we do is just take some food, take a drink, take a snack, take a fruit, and just put it in the mouth. We chew it, and then we swallow. After we swallow, we forget about it. We don't know where does it go? Where does it go? What goes on with the food? What goes on with the food that we have eaten? Has it gone and stuck somewhere? Was it fully digested? You know, we only think about the GIT when we start having problems. You have pain in the stomach. You have a lot of acid in the stomach. You have acid reflux, a lot of heartburn. You have a lot of heartburn. You have bloating in the abdomen. You have pain in the legs. You have pain in the backs. You have pain in the chest. You have pain in the ribs. You see, when we have those kind of things, we also rarely think that the problem is in the gastrointestinal tract, because we know that that's what I've said, that the gastrointestinal tract, it takes a very central role and plays a very vital and pivotal role in our wellness, because we know when there's a problem in the GIT, there are very many other things that you'll be affected. The ribs, you'll be affected. The diaphragm, you'll be affected. The chest, you'll be affected. The hip girdle, the hip bone, the hip joint, you'll be affected. The thighs, you'll be affected. The backbone, you'll be affected. You see? And if there is acid reflux, you find even the ears are being affected. Your throat is being affected. So this is a very complicated system, and it affects us in various ways. There are many complaints that we may take to the doctor only to realize that the problem is acid, a lot of acid, or too much gas in the colon, or too much gas in the small intestine. And so we have said that the gastrointestinal tract is very, very, very critical. It is very, very important, and it plays a very critical role in our wellness. And as we search, we are continue in searching for wellness. In our journey in searching for wellness, it is very important that we may come to a point where we are able to really manage our gut system. We are able to manage the food, what it is that we eat. We get to know what it is, what is good for me and what does not work out for me. How do I handle the problem in the colon? How do I handle the problem with the small intestine? How do I handle this issue of acid? How do I regulate these things? So research has revealed that many clinical problems that you present to a doctor or to the physician really originate from the GIT. They really originate from the gut. All the body functions stems from the ability of the body to take up nutrients, and the body and the cells to use up nutrients. And these are nutrients which come from the foods that we eat. And you know that the foods that we eat are coming from outside. A banana comes from a tree, and a mango comes from a tree, and maize comes from a crop. So these are all external items that we put in the mouth, we chew, and then we swallow, and they go into our gut system. So, and these foods provide the nutrients which are released by the work of the digestive work of the gastrointestinal tract. And so these nutrients and the food contribute greatly to wellness if we optimize, if we are able to get as many nutrients as are required by the body, as are essential for life in the body and protection and the immune system. You find that the body will generate for us wellness. And so the GIT plays a critical role. If we have problems with the GIT, we find that people are greatly affected health-wise, or their wellness is greatly compromised. GIT is the system which manages the food. You know, when we take a whole bowl of porridge, or a whole bowl of cereals, or a whole bowl of chips and chicken and roasted beef and beer, all these things go into the gut system. We put them all into the gut system, but you must realize that the gut system knows how to deal with all these things. Most of the foods that we eat in our general diet of humanity, you'll find that if the gut system is working correctly, producing all the enzymes which are required, it will deal with all those items that we put in there. And so we can say that the GIT is a system which manages food. It is a food management system. GIT is a food management system. The GIT, again, we may say it is a very complex system. It is a very, very, very complex system. It is very, very specific. Scientifically, it is very, very specific. And it is also very, very, very complex. It is very, very complex. And you'll find that, like we have said, you may present various clinical issues to your physician. But at times, unless a real research is done and real critical tests are done, you may not really have the problem solved at one go. Because even the doctors really have to do research on your body when you present a situation or a scenario. I remember at one time that I presented myself to the doctor, to the outpatient, because I had pain in the ribs. Both sides of the ribs, I was having so much pain. And first of all, the doctor had to do x-rays. They had to do x-rays to see if I've got pneumonia. They had to do tests to check if I had pneumonia. They thought that I had foreign. But actually, what surprised me, it was just because of a lot of acid and a lot of gassing in the system that had caused so much. And the only treatment that I was given that time was to cut the acid in the stomach. Actually, a tablet which is called Nexium. Nexium, which also cuts the acid production in the stomach. That is what I was given to take for 14 days, and it really helped me. I did not have to take any pneumonia drugs or anything, but the problem was just in the GIT, in the stomach, because of a lot of acid. And so the GIT is made up, starts from the mouth, you know. The GIT starts from the mouth, and you know our mouth is full of teeth. And the teeth are also part of the function of the gastrointestinal tract, because we are supposed to chew our food thoroughly, so to maximize on the chemical digestion of our food. So the gut starts from the mouth, then it has got this esophagus, then it goes to the stomach. Then from the stomach there is a bed called the duodenum, which enters the small intestine. Then there is the small intestines. The small intestines carries an incredible amount, an incredible intensive digestion of the fats, digestion of the proteins, digestion of the carbohydrates. All this digestion is completed in the small intestine, and it is in the small intestines where also nutrients are absorbed into the blood, or into the lacteal, into the lymphatic system. And so the small intestine is very, very, very important. It's very important. If it has problems, you may find a person having many health complications. And then after that, the food goes into the colon, or the large intestine. The large intestines, because most of the food have been digested in the small intestine, and most of the nutrients have been absorbed. So what we get in the large intestines is undigestible materials. For example, if your diet had a lot of maize, had a lot of beans, it had a lot of vegetables, you'll find that most of those substances, fiber, it has a lot of fiber, and most of it is not digested, so it will end up in the colon. And you find that also in some wholesome carbohydrates. Some wholesome carbohydrates are also not completely digested, and so they will also go into the gut, into the colon. When you take a lot of milk, there are people who are not able to digest milk and they are food intolerant. And so if they have no enzyme lactase to digest the milk sugar called lactose, it means that lactose goes and collects in the colon. And what happens to these indigested molecules of food and fibers? What may happen if they stay a little bit longer? They start fermenting. And they start producing gas. And they may give us a lot of problems. When they stay longer without being extruded to the outside, you find that the body system, the blood system, starts absorbing toxins. It starts absorbing toxins from the colon. And those toxins are not very, very healthy. They are not very good for the body. And so what we are saying that in the colon, we have a lot of undigestible foods. Undigestible part of the food that we have eaten. And that is why we have a lot of gassing that people are experiencing, a lot of bloating. Most times is the bloating from the colon. And this bloating for the colon is very disruptive because at times it can become, there could be a lot of gas. And it presses on the organs, for example, the bone in the pelvic girdle, we call it the pelvic girdle. The bone in the hips, where what the baby passes through when the baby is being born. That bone which joins the hips, the presses, that gas may press a lot on the bones, on those bones. It also may press on the small of the back, that pressure. And also this gas may also exert more pressure upwards, especially if you are sleeping at night. It may press upwards and put a lot of pressure on the diaphragm, in which case you find that people have started having other complaints, and the problem is right in the colon. Others feel dizzy because of this increased pressure of the gas. Because every gas, whatever gas, like for example, the gas that we use for cooking, it is put there under pressure. And whenever there is gas in a closed system, it will always exert pressure. So when this gas is in this section of the colon, which is enclosed, and it is not coming out, if it is not coming out as flatulence, it means that it's going to exert a lot of pressure in the neighboring systems, And the undigestible material, that after all the water, what happens again also in the colon is a lot of removal of water so that the stool becomes hardened and it is compacted and it comes out in a certain good form. But you find that when there is too much gas in the colon, we find that people also experience constipation, or they are not able to pass the stool properly. At times you may find a lot of gas coming out and also a lot of balls. A person passes only little balls, and so a person is not able to cleanse. The system is not able to cleanse itself properly. So you see that this gassing also affects the cleansing process of the gut, the cleansing systems of the gut. So every part of the gut system that we have mentioned is very, very specialized. It's got its specialized digestion. It has got its own enzymes. It has got its own pH. It has got its own pH, and that is why we say that the work of the digestive system is very complex, and it's also very specific and very accurate. We say that we have seen that the gastrointestinal tract may give a person a lot of many clinical problems, and at times you may spend a lot of money with the doctors trying to look for the problem, and the problem is just in the GIT. In the GIT, for example, if there are no enzymes in the small intestines to digest fats, you see you are going to have a lot of problems. Every time you eat fats, you may feel nauseated, or you may feel like you feel that you have a lot of bloating, there is no indigestion, and you still may have a lot of oil in it because there is no digestion. And like we have seen, like lack of digestion of the enzyme lactase, which digests the milk sugar called lactose. It causes the lactose to go in the colon, and it starts fermenting there. And we find that many people say they are bloated when they take milk. Many people, when they take fresh milk, they have a problem with fresh milk. Like me, I don't like milk because I have such problems. I have such intolerant problems with milk. But with the yogurt is good, or maswarara is good, because the lactose now has been fermented into lactic acid, and so it is in a better form. And it also the yogurt also has got the microorganisms. There are many people who may have high acid in the stomach, but there are also people who have low acid in the stomach. And so high acid and also the situation of low acid in the stomach also will cause problems in the food digestion. A person with low acid in the stomach may experience a lot of nausea after eating some foods, especially the digestion of proteins. You eat milk, you take some milk, or even take some meats. Obviously, you feel like you're going to vomit because of lack of acid, enough acid to handle the enzymes. The enzymes cannot really digest in the stomach without enough acid. So whether it is high acid, excess acid, like people who have excess acid, I myself, I suffer from excess acid. And those who have low acids also face challenges. And if the acid is too much, it may also affect the rest of the system. We have seen also that gassing is also a very, very big problem. Many people these days are experiencing these problems of gassing. And this gassing, like we have seen, like gas, when it is in an enclosed system, it will produce pressure. It will produce pressure. And so because of the whole system becomes like a balloon within the abdomen. And so it will press on other organs and other structures, and so it brings a lot of discomfort. Because of this exerted pressure, some people may also feel dizzy. Some people may feel dizzy because there is another source of pressure apart from the blood pressure. There is another pressure that is being exerted because of the gassing in the GIT. And these are very, very uncomfortable experiences. If you have high acid, if you have low acid, if you have a lot of gas in the system, if you don't have enough enzymes in the system that is in digestion, these are very, very, very uncomfortable situations. But you may realize that when you go to your doctor, he may have been treated with enzymes. These days, our doctors, our medical professionals, medical personnel are treating us with the enzymes. So you may find that you have been given enzymes to go and facilitate the digestion, especially in the small intestines, and also the colon. The colon. So when we get these enzymes and the digestion takes place, you are able to evacuate. The system is able to cleanse itself, because it is important that the undigestible matter keeps being evacuated from the system consistently and regularly, so that the toxins are not being absorbed back into the system. Enzymes also alleviates this problem of gassing in the colon. When you are given the uni-enzyme or any enzyme that the doctor gives you, you may find that you have got quite some relief, because what was standing there being undigested has already been cleared by the enzymes. Another treatment that doctors are using these days to treat the colon, to treat the colon and the whole gut, is the microbiota. Many doctors now these days, when you have a problem with the system, where they will always give you a microbiota. And if you have such system and your doctor did not give you a microbiota, it is important to request that the doctor may give you that microorganisms. It is good to have that pack in the house, so that when you feel well, you can still keep adding your microorganisms to the system. The microorganisms are very, very, very critical. We have said that our bodies are full of various types of good bacteria. These good bacteria, they go and also they fight the bad bacteria. They also destroy the bad bacteria. And these good bacteria, they also feed on most of the indigestible carbohydrates which are in the colon. Some of the indigestible fibers, which are called polysaccharides, and also starch materials of food which are not digested. They are going to be used by the bacteria, because that becomes the food for the bacteria. It becomes the food for the bacteria. So when one has got good population of bacteria within the gut system, you'll find that we will really alleviate this problem of putrefaction in the colon, and also this the production of toxins in the colon, and also this too much gassing in the colon. So it is good to regularly take some yogurt, and if you can get some fermented porridge which has not been pre-cooked, it is also good. It is also good to take that. But there are also other people who are able to ferment vegetables like carrots, like cabbages, And if you are able to make those kind of sauerkraut, it is also helpful because it has good bacteria. Introducing good bacteria into the system is very, very, very important. Maswamara is also a good source of bacteria. We know that in the African countries, this fermentation of porridge was a real cultural thing. We know that in Kenya, the people from Meru, there are some people from Meru that are able to still produce this fermented porridge, which you do not have to pre-cook it. You cook it and then ferment it. And that kind of porridge is very, very helpful. It is very, very helpful for the body and also for the gut, for the gut system. The fermented millet and sorghum also changes the phytic acid. It also changes the phytic acid, so that the phytic acid may hold on to calcium, or it may hold on iron and other minerals. And fermentation changes into a better molecule, which will not take away the minerals from the diet. So that is what I will say today concerning as an introduction to your gut health and what it is that you can do. So, for example, I have already prepared. I have prepared a simple kitchen recipe which I use regularly to improve the digestion in my gut system. Like I've said, my stomach is very, very acidic, and at times I have a lot of gassing in the colon. And so I have realized that introducing enzymes from living foods, and also put it together with the microbiota, like in yogurt, or even masiwarara, or anything else that has got such microbiota. We really go and facilitate the restoration and the healing of the gut system. For example, if one has had inflammation in the gut system, for example, because of food poisoning, or even because of infections, or even because of allergic reactions in the gut system, or high acid, you'll find that this kind of mixture, I have given us a recipe where you mix the pawpaw and watermelon and cucumber and grated carrots and mix them together with yogurt. And so that kind of a nice pudding that is very, very refreshing. And if one takes it regularly, maybe once a day for even about 2 months, you find that the system has healed itself and the digestion starts taking place easily and well. And even the evacuation and the cleaning of the gut system becomes very easy. You find that you are able to pass a normal stool and also pass your stool very well. Thank you very, very much for listening to me. Thank you for visiting my channel. I ask you, please subscribe to my channel, like my work and share. Please share this video with your friends and relatives, and please let me hear of how this recipe is helping you, on how this information is helping you. The idea is to empower every person to take care of their wellness. Our journey in search for wellness is a long journey. It's a long journey of a step-by-step learning this and practicing it. And in this channel, I've given a lot of recipes for cooking vegetables, because one time I had a lot of wellness problem, and the booklet from a doctor which helped me was the use of a cocktail of vegetables. And they really helped me big time. And we continue using a lot of vegetables in my home. And so I have talked a lot about vegetables, because vegetables are very, very, very helpful. And so I thank you very much again for taking time to listen to me. I thank you for appreciating my work, for visiting my channel. I'm also very pleased. And I ask you, you can also introduce there or write there any other thing that you may want me to research on, so that I can bring it to you. Thank you very much, and God bless you, and goodbye.